this is designed to be very interactive. So that's the good thing. We're going to go through high level yesterday, and then we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of files. They'll eventually be in the back office. I had already created them. So it kind of gives you a walkthrough of Etsy in general. So let me, I guess, start the official. Let me share my screen. We'll go from there. All right, I think everybody can see my screen. All right, hello everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and we are in day 1 and day 2 of the Print on Demand Challenge. So we're going to talk through the Print on Demand Challenge, just give you a quick overview. I am Nicole Whitlock, the creator of eCom Sellers and co-founder. I've been selling for a while, since 2014, offline since 2008. I was actually talking to my business partner earlier this week about throwing some stuff up on Craigslist, because that's really where I got started. And I'm a single mom with 2 special needs kids. I'm also the vice president of a nonprofit, and we are very busy these days. So this particular workshop, this challenge that I'm excited about, is going to be taught from a new seller perspective. So my assumption is that you know nothing about Etsy. If you're already selling on Etsy, that is awesome. But if you are not selling on Etsy, we're going to start from the beginning. And I'm going to give you a document that kind of walks you through creating a listing. We're going to talk about creating, we're going to do it together. And these are going to be short meetings. They're bite-sized meetings designed to allow you the opportunity to take action and to get started. So some of the strategies and techniques that you will use that we're going to be doing today, you'll be able to use them on any platform, which is going to be great. But we're going to start with Etsy as our baseline. So by the end of this particular challenge, you'll know what print on demand is, because we're going to talk about it extensively, because that's all we're doing. You'll be able to know how to get started. We'll be able to find providers if you need providers. I'm going to show you today that you don't need providers. You're going to learn how to create some art yourself, or find products or discover products that you can potentially create and sell. And you're going to learn about other marketplace platforms where you can use this particular method of e-commerce. So, of course, there's always the discussion about mindset. And the thing I do want to say is, at the end of the day, this business is yours. I'm going to give you the blueprint on a model and a method that you'll be able to scale and use to be able to make money on Etsy long term. And I feel like it's sustainable. I'll give you some good news. Like today, my son created 2 designs in under 43 minutes. Like, I turned on the kitchen timer and he got started, and he did it from his phone. He didn't even do it from a computer. And he created 2 designs in 43 minutes. I'm very proud of him. So, you'll be able to get through the process of creating your own designs based on the method that I'm starting with. You'll also be able to build the habit of consistency in your business. And I feel like long term, this is a method and a model that is easily sustainable. It's easily sustainable if you can block off 30 minutes to an hour every single day. If you can do that, you literally can inchworm yourself to wherever you want to be financially when it comes to your Etsy business. So with that being said, do you need a budget? Depends on if you want to expand into some of the other methods of print on demand that may require you to purchase the item when somebody buys it if your money is not released. And so you might need a budget. But the method that we're going to start with today, you're going to need a minuscule budget, because you're going to create a listing on Etsy. And they're going to ask you if you want an automatic listing, automatic renewal, or manual. And we'll talk about that in just a second. I do encourage you to establish a schedule. Whatever works for you. We're going to meet at 6 every single day until July 31st. And that even means the 4th of July. So even if you're not here, I'm going to record and wherever I am. So I've got to go out to the country. I forget. Sometime in the middle of this, I'm going to be in the country for about 4 days. But at 6 o'clock, I'm going to record your sessions and what we're going to be doing for the day. So, and if I am able to pre-record them, I'll definitely email a list to all the people who have signed up for the challenge, so that way they'll already be out there for you to go listen to. So I do encourage you to, this was originally supposed to be a 90-day challenge, and I stripped it down to just June and July because of the 2 months and knowing when school starts here in Texas. So if you want to, I encourage everybody to try something for 90 days. I do feel like 60 days is too short for you to really see the results. I'm not going to over cram too much into this, but again, I encourage you to expand this journey out for at least 90 days and see how you like it and see how it works for you. So, what is print on demand? In essence, it's taking products and putting either a design, a graphic, whatever on it. You can also develop with print on demand. There's digital products, there's books that you can produce, coloring books and things like that. So, the method that we're going to start with is we're going to start with some simplistic designs that we can ultimately put into a low content book that we can sell over and over again as our print on demand product. So we're going to sell the singles, the print on demand pages is the concept that we're starting with. And there's a lot of money to be made in low content books. I don't know if you've been paying attention to any of that stuff. I don't want to get you sucked into the YouTube vortex of going to go watch those videos, but I do want to say is, again, we're going to start with some simple things that you can put, just some print on demand designs so you can get going, things that you can sell. And you're not going to sell them for a lot of money. Okay, you're not. But when you build enough of whatever it is that you decide that you want to sell, you put it into a low content book and you can sell that book over and over again, especially if the book is in demand. So we're going to talk about some of the books that I already know are in demand and the books that we've created. All right. So print on demand is the reason why we're doing print on demand is because it's easy to set up. It does have a low startup cost. There are some expenses, but they're not heavy. And you don't have to manage any inventory. You can use tools and outsource to other printers and do that. There's an ability to customize whatever it is that you want to do. And you can, scale and test without any risk. So let's get into it. So in session 1, print on demand challenge. Pretty much an overview is that we are going to be creating a design every single day. And that we're going to talk about creating designs every single day. We're going to talk about different products that we can create. We're going to start with printables or downloadables, however you know that. And again, they are not high cost items, but we're going to segue into some higher cost items or items that will generate you more money over time. So some of the products that we will create, like I said, the amount that people will pay for them is minuscule. The great thing about print on demand, when it's a downloadable product, is that you can actually upload your downloadable product to Etsy and it will automatically be emailed to your customer as soon as they buy it. So you don't have to sit in front of your computer. Once you develop it or design it, you literally can just let people buy it and they'll just buy on a whim. So we're going to have 4 longer sessions. Those longer sessions are designed to take a deeper dive into some of the concepts, the ideas, introduce you to some additional methods of e-commerce and help you with a roadmap to where you want to go. So initially, we'll probably have another session, or I may just do a roadmap session all by itself since we didn't get to meet. We met, but I was the only person there. So anyway, so we will definitely do a roadmap session so that you'll have the opportunity to go through that. So you can pencil in 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And again, it's going to be every day. And if you can't make it every day, you'll be able to log into your eCom Sellers Mastery back office. You should see a section for print on demand. That section does not exist yet. It will be created by this weekend. And so in that section, I will upload a file that I'm going to share with you today. So you'll get a downloadable PDF today that you can use to help you on your e-commerce journey. We're going to go through the PDF together. There will be 56 sessions that will be 30 minutes long. So here's the structure. The first 5 minutes will be designated to allow you to ask me whatever question you got. I know that the answer to those questions might take 10 minutes. So pretty much the first 10 minutes is answering questions. Then the next 10 minutes, we'll be talking about what is the next thing that we're going to be creating. And as part of that, we're going to do some quick product research. We're going to get some quick ideas and some concepts. We are going to look at other people's listings. We're not going to steal other people's listings. We're going to create our own And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we'll go through the process of letting you all, the last 10 minutes, creating your own design. If there are challenges, questions, or issues as you're creating your listings on your own, you're more than welcome to ping me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. But hopefully the first 10 minutes, again, 5 minutes really will be set aside for questions. 10 minutes will be set aside specifically to cover, again, what we're going to be doing for the day or what we're going to be taking on. And then the last 10 minutes will be a working session where you actually start the process. And then you can ask me questions if you run into problems or if you're troubleshooting, that kind of stuff. So some of them you might be able to create pretty quickly, and some of them you may not. All right. So if you haven't created your Etsy account, I do want to encourage you to get that created. And I'm going to give you a downloadable PDF to be able to do that, and create a Canva and an eRank account. So the great thing about eRank is eRank has a free version and Canva has a free version. So you're not spending any money today. So you are going to create a Canva account. So write that down. I need you to create a Canva account. I will give you my affiliate link, but I did not save that down today. So just go to canva.com and create your free account. If you got a paid account, that's fine too. And then go to erank.com and create an account there. All right. So on order fulfillment, the fantastic thing about the entire process that we're starting with, again, our e-commerce method is going to evolve as we go through the journey. We're going to get good at what we're doing for the first week, then 2 weeks, then we're going to introduce a new method. Then we're going to work on that for 2 weeks. Then we're going to introduce another method. Then we're going to get good at that, and we're going to introduce another method. So I don't want you to go, oh my gosh, like we're not hitting all these methods. So by the time you're done, you will have gone through 4 different approaches and methods of print on demand. And over time, some of them will take longer than others. But the first shot is the simple method. We're going to go through the simple method. Okay. So with the simple method that we're doing downloadable PDFs. The great thing is that for the fulfillment of those, it can be automated and you can attach it to the listing so that it's automatically emailed to the customer once they buy it with their receipt. Okay. So I'm not going to go through a goal establishment. I'm going to actually do that, record that separately. I want to start with what initial questions, high level, do you have as I grab the PDF for you? What questions do you have? You can unmute yourselves. This is where it is. Yeah, here it is. Questions? All right. I don't know if I'm by myself or not. I can't see people. So I can't. But let me look at the chat. Let me find the chat. Where is the chat? Okay. Any questions? Can you see the chat? Do you guys see the chat? Let me hide this. And I don't. There's the chat. Okay. There we go. You can type in a chat if you have any questions. Let me know. Questions? And I don't know if you see that in the chat. Let me go download this and I will put it in the, to go create a new account. As my other account is under eCom Sellers. So you download this. All right, so I'm going to attach this PDF. So the first thing about this PDF is it is going to talk about what you can list on Etsy. Handmade, vintage. You can also do print on demand. We're doing digital downloads. So that is the method that we're going to go through. We will eventually get to the other methods of e-commerce. So there's a lot of examples that are listed here. And again, you'll be able to review this on your own. It also talks about the fees for Etsy for listings. So this is where when I talk about you are going to be spending some money as you create listings, you are going to have an expense that's associated with your products. Okay. So it's not going to be extremely, major because we're doing one new listing a day. I do want you to know that creating a new listing a day, much like creating a new listing every single day on eBay, actually pays off. So I do want to encourage you, if possible, to create a new listing every single day. That will help the algorithm to send traffic to your store. That is the first strategy and the first technique that we've proven over and over again that actually works. So creating a listing every single day is actually going to help you on your journey. And if you want to take those amazing listings that you create and go ahead and cross list them on eBay, you're more than welcome to do that. Or if you want to cross list them on other platforms that you're aware of, and some of the products that we're going to be talking about there, I'll talk about where else you can list them. But definitely see if you can carve out enough time in your day, 30 minutes to an hour. So an additional 30 minutes on top of the time that we meet. I'm giving you working time inside of when we meet. So at least 10 minutes of working time, so that, if you can put an additional 30 minutes on there. So 1 hour dedicated to this process, get a listing up every single day. It is game changer. So when you stop and you're not able to get a listing up every single day, it may impact, you gaining some traction on the work that you're putting together. Okay. So your fees are in, and there's a summary, and then there's also a link to Etsy's website. Etsy is going to pay you through Etsy payments. So if you haven't created your account, you are going to need to create an account and attach your banking information. So be prepared for that. And that's going to be extremely important. They also have a verification process as you are creating your account, so that you're not surprised by that. So here are the steps for creating your account. And again, I'm going to attach this in the file section. I'll also email it to you directly so you'll have it, and it will be placed in your back office under the print on demand. Okay. So make sure that, again, if you don't have an Etsy account, that you go ahead and you create one. And those are the steps. Then the other thing I do want to encourage you to do is go ahead and install the Etsy app. There will be things that you'll be able to do, monitor, check in the Etsy app, and work that you may be able to do as well in the Etsy app. So this walks you through creating the Etsy app. You go through that process. So I'll let you look at that, and it gives you some navigation inside the app. Okay. So the next thing is that we are going to create listings. So today I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but that is also covered in this document, how to create your listing and your shipping. Now your shipping for this first 2 weeks and probably the second 2 weeks, you're not going to have to do anything with shipping. That'd be zero shipping because you're doing digital downloads. Over time, as we move to the next phase, phase 3 of our print on demand journey, you will be integrating with a printer and a supplier, and we will be checking with them or seeing what integrations they have available so that your orders can automatically go to them to be fulfilled. And we'll talk about which ones might make sense for you during that 2-week period. And then the last part, again, is we're also going to go to a supplier for part 4 of this. So it's really a 4-part journey. So shipping doesn't apply right now, but you're going to choose digital. So I just want you to be aware of that. I think that's it. The last thing is that there is a little bit of information about eRank. The great thing about eRank is that you'll be able to use this to do some keyword research. So we'll look at eRank here in a minute, and tags are going to be extremely important to what you do. So we're going to look at some Etsy listings to help you with that. And consider, depending on what type of products you decide to sell and what your listings are, consider creating yourself a Facebook fan page, an Instagram fan page for your products to be placed on. I would encourage you to do that. And, don't overlook the opportunity to do some stuff with TikTok if it makes sense, depending on what it is that you're selling. Okay. So I will send all of this to you, and let me go ahead and attach that now. I'm going to give you a chance to ask questions. Do you have any questions? Oh. All right, it's not letting me do the attachments. So I will email this separately. Okay, I'm going to have to email this separately. So let's go through and let's talk about the type of products that we are going to be playing with or creating. Okay. The tool we're going to be using for some of our keyword research that's going to matter is eRank. And we're also going to use the analysis that we perform on existing listings that might be related to the topic. The thing that's going to matter for this initial journey is the type of listing. When you create your listing, it's going to be a digital listing, and we're going to take a deeper dive into that optimization. And so let's go ahead and let me go through this. Okay. So every time that we meet, we're going to conduct some quick research. We're going to go look at some existing listings. We'll do some research. I will already have some research done. Like my son has a list of 68 print-on-demand ideas. So what we'll probably do is just share our list with you, and so that you can just pull from the list if you want to, depending on which way you want to go on your print-on-demand journey. So we're going to talk about those niches, the products, the designs, where to get your designs, or how to create your designs. We're going to use Canva to create our designs. And as you're ready to, or you're at the place, we're going to integrate with print-on-demand providers. We're going to talk through those and which ones make the most sense. And if you have a Shopify store, whether or not that makes sense or not. So these are the simple print-on-demand downloadable ideas that we are going to actually be taking on initially. Each one of you probably has a passion, and it may make sense for you to think long-term, bigger picture, what you want to build as you get to like phase 4 of this journey. So I'm going to give you an example. A product that's extremely popular and was definitely popular during COVID was educational materials. Educational materials like tracing your letters, cutting out letters, writing your alphabet, writing your numbers, coloring in squares, circles, and triangles. It's that simple, seriously. And so those are all like basic, I would say preschool, pre-kindergarten activities. And these are things that parents needed, to give their kids something to do while they were at home, especially during the pandemic. Like the sales for those went off the scales, ridiculous. So with that, keeping that in mind, you can start off with creating flashcards for your alphabet, flashcards for animals, flashcards for the different types of vehicles that exist, flashcards for signs, public signs like stop signs, yield signs, all that kind of stuff. Flashcards for all kinds of cool stuff. So my son has been creating a boatload of flashcards, a helpful information. The next stage of his journey, I'm going to jump to stage 4 for him, is that we're going to take all of the ones that are preschool related and put them into a preschool low content book. Because during the summer, parents are always trying to keep their kids busy, engaged, something to do in the back seat while they are driving to grandma's house, on vacation to Florida, whatever. Like, you're not going to sit there and play on your electronic device. Let me give you something to do. So he can take all of his alphabets and numbers and shapes and drop that into a low content preschool book. He can also do the same thing and create a low content book with the designs he's already created for first grade, for second grade, for third grade, for fourth grade. So if he continues down the education path, that's fantastic. For some of you, you may love the inspirational side of things. So this, or the religious or whatever works for you. So this summer, there's a lot of kids that are going to be going to VBS, right? Vacation Bible School. So with them going to VBS, they are going to be given activities and worksheets and all kinds of stuff while they're there, things to color in, activities to do, that kind of stuff. So you could, if you wanted to stay in the realm of religious, you could create scripture cards, scripture story cards, scripture characters, all of that, like create flashcards. So you're getting the design done first. Then you can consolidate that all in step 4 of your journey into a low content book and sell that online. Low content books sell like crazy. For some of you, there's some instructional things. So another example would be my son is doing his driver's, like he got his learner's permit. So now we're getting ready to get his driver's license. And so you might be in a place where you know a bunch of stuff about something, a specific thing, and you know more detail than the average person knows. Okay. So if you're blessed with that ability to know something about something major, an example would be for him, around driving, there's signs that he needs to be aware of and things in the road that he needs to be aware of. And the great thing about Canva is you can create or drop some of those images into like pages and write some text around it. So you could gradually start that process. Maybe there's a one-pager info sheet on everything you need to do to get your learner's permit in the state of Texas, everything you need to do to get your learner's permit in the state of Nevada, everything you need to do to get your learner's permit in the state of South Carolina. And then as you finish each one of those, and you could sell those as individuals, you drop that into a low content book and sell that as an informational book. Or maybe you're really good at cooking. So you have a boatload of recipes, but you've never really done anything with it. So again, turning that into a recipe book long term. You can sell the individual recipes by themselves. Maybe you're really good at music. So I need you guys to unmute yourselves, please, and talk to me about what your talent, your gift, your knowledge, your ability is, what your interest is. So can you unmute, please? I'm going to need some interaction.
Can you hear me?
I can.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My passion is organizing.
Okay. All right. So you definitely have an opportunity because I'm in the organization realm as well. And there's a lot of people that sell a lot of organizational stuff. And you already know that this is like the window right now where you do all of your work for 2023. And you're going to start listing that stuff and continue to sell from August all the way up until next March. So you can start building sheets now, designing sheets now, selling them standalone, and then eventually putting them into a bundle or a package that you could sell later, right?
Yeah.
And create multiple variations. There are people that love organization sheets on helping them get organized for fitness. And then there are people that will buy organizational sheets to help them get organized with their money. And then there might be people who love organizational sheets around chores. And so you literally could go the gamut. There are some people that need organizational sheets that they're caring for their senior parents. And so they need sheets that the person that's coming by the house to check on the parent or to help the parent knows what to follow and what meds to give. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that you have such a large opportunity, and Canva has so many different templates in there, and you can just tweak them. So you can start with creating a list, just doing a brain dump of all the organizational opportunities that you could start with, and then gradually every single day design one new thing.
It's hard because I compare myself to other people, and I'll create something. I'll be like, oh, but that one is so much better. So you get scared to post it.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not comparing. God made us all individuals, babe. God made us all individuals. So we are going to only compare ourselves to ourselves.
Yep.
My first planner that I created was crap, but it's okay. It sold. Somebody liked it, and it doesn't matter. And you get better at it, and you get better at it, and you get better at it over time. So we're going to celebrate the skills, the knowledge, the ability that we do have, and we are not going to compare ourselves to anybody but ourselves.
Thank you.
You got this. Okay, so who else is on here that unmuted? Sorry.
It's just me.
Okay.
So I was thinking of Bible study journals.
I love it. You know how much money people make in that?
And I would do it where you would actually like break down a chapter. So, and then you would do like the who, what, when, where of the scripture, and then you would go from there.
Mm-hmm. So let me just give you one. What if long-term bigger picture, you started with Bible study journals for little kids, preschoolers, then a grade age kiddos, then middle schoolers, then high schoolers. Now you've got 4 different journals that you created, then a 5th journal for college students, a journal for women, a journal for men, a journal for couples, a journal for families, a journal for singles. Just you literally, you have such a, I hope you're writing this down. Are you okay? So let me just start with that. If I give you something, it's because God gave it to me to give to you. Okay. So I'm gonna need you to write this down. Same thing with you, Debbie. I need you to write it down. Write it down. There is something to this printable journey. And I think, sometimes we overcomplicate things. And so for me, I'm at a place in my brain and in my body and in my mind and in my journey that everything just needs to be incremental and step by step. We're going to start with the easy, and we're going to use that to help us build to something bigger. And we're going to do it little by little, day by day, so that we have this amazing product at the end. Now, the products in between can all be sold independently as well. So write those down, please. All right, so I think Hazel's on here. Hazel, what is your passion?
I think Hazel. Well, where is Hazel?
Did she drop off? Did we lose her? We lost her. All right. Well, Hazel, whenever you hear this recording, we just need to know what your passion is. So, but you get what I'm saying. So, there are some people that love inspirational quotes. There's so many inspirational quotes on the internet. It's ridiculous. So those are all helpful. You can create helpful cards, instructional cards for people for different things that they have to do. I can tell you in the special needs community, like parents are always looking for informational cards around how to brush your teeth, how to get dressed, how to feed yourself, like informational cards on different things that the kids have to do on their own. So they can, what we do is we laminate it, we put it on a ring. And so then that way, if there's an activity that's in a specific room, like whenever I got to do something with Nicholas, we can pull out that ring sheet and it's up on the wall for him. It's already laminated and we don't have to think about it. If there's identification cards, people build blank identification cards that they just need, a 3x5 card to print it on, and then they can laminate it that has their name, their address, or pertinent information about them that is used just for generic purposes. So you might have that for a parent that's an Alzheimer's patient, and that's a card that they keep on their person or that they put in their pocket or whatever. You could also do that for parents that have special needs kids. So there's also stickers for all the stuff that you do. There are so many stickers for planners and planner concepts and ideas. And there's so many stickers that you could be creating when it comes to Bible study in that journey. So this can be something that is beyond whatever you thought about today. And it becomes something like, oh, this is a viable business long-term. Long-term, bigger picture, this is a viable business. I can tell you this is where 70% of my business is today. Well, probably 60 is print on demand. And I started small. So what I'm doing with my son is we are doing all of the preschool type of stuff. So like he did one for occupations. He did flashcards for occupations. And so, of course, you got the doctor and the nurse and the fireman and the policeman and, all that, and it's stuff that you can just get off of Canva. I don't have to create that. It's already been created for me. Then you can talk about jobs in the medical field. So then he can go through and say, okay, the nurse and the doctor and the dentist and the dental assistant, all of those for little kids. So when he's done with when we have all these images created, he can sell those standalone, and then he can also sell them as a combo package in a book, a low content book that kids could use to color in, or they could already be colored. So I hope that you guys like see the vision of what this could become for you if you stay with it. Do you see the vision?
I see it.
Oh, I see.
All right, so I am going to give you some examples. Evidently, I'm already on the kindergarten stuff. Okay, so this one is, it says 250 pages, ages. So we started with the tracing sheets. So you all can make tracing sheets, right? Like this is something that can be done in Canva. So how do I get to Canva? I log into I'm already in my Canva account. We've already created like 9,000 things. But what I can do is I can type in tracing sheets and see what comes up. All right, there's nothing there. Oh, I got too many things. Oh, am I in my designs? Hold on. Okay. Let me just type in preschool. So if I do not have anything that's preschool related, all right, so I'm going to start a new design. And I'm just going to do a flyer. I'll start with flyer. So if you haven't used Canva before, the first thing is to log in. And you can click on start a new design. Once you click on start a new design, I don't know why this is coming up, but okay. I can click on school because my son may have already started school. Okay, and I am going to go click on elements. Let's go click on some elements. And let's do alphabet. So once I click on elements and I type in alphabet, I have an option here in the search under elements for letters. So I can go through, and it's gonna be the long list, but anyway, I can go through and I can create a card. Let's just say I decide that I'm going to do a letter card. I'm going to resize this to be flashcard size. So I don't know what he's got in here. Postcard. That might be too big. I think flashcards are 3x5. So 3. And I'm going to resize it. You'll be able to come back and let's look at the recording and see how I did that. So I just made a 3x5 card. I have no idea why I'm on fitness. Somebody else must be doing something. Or my son must be doing some product research. Everybody logs into my account. So, and it may not be 3x5. It may be something else because this feels too skinny. This feels way too skinny. Anyway, yeah, this is clearly not 3. It doesn't feel like this is 3. But anyway, so what he did was he put the letter A and then he put an image of an apple underneath it. He did a red A though, or whatever color. And so he did apple. The other thing he could do is he can create a whole new set of cards where he, and then just put that underneath there. And you drag and drop, or you can double click on it. It'll pop up in there. And that's probably not the size I want, but that doesn't matter. And the other thing is that you can put the sounds. So I can do a set of flashcards where I actually put an item on it. I could actually decide I'm going to do A and then write the word apple underneath here. If I wanted to write the word apple instead of putting a picture of an apple, I can go to text. And once I go to text, I can choose to just, get a box and write the word apple. You see how that dropped in here? And once I do that, and I could get rid of this if I wanted to. If I spell the word apple right, that would be helpful. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Or I could leave it all in there. I could make the apple bigger. So if I click on it, I can increase the size up here. I could change the font style to some other font style. So I click on the drop down. I have all these font styles that I can choose. I can make this much bigger. And I can get rid of the apple if I wanted to, or I can keep it. So he literally could do the alphabet like 5 different ways. He could do the letter for the letter A and then the word apple, the letter A and the picture apple, the letter A and the vowel sound for apple, the letter A and the words and the image on there. Like he could do this so many different ways. And so he's selling the same product that he's done 3 different ways. Okay. So I want you to think about what you do. So yours is scripture. So if I go back over to Etsy, I'm going to start with scripture first. So if I go to scriptures, there's some simple scripture cards that are already out there. Scripture cards. So I can just do cards if I wanted to. So I go to scripture cards, and we don't have to make them colorful. They don't have to be colorful. They can be black and white, or they can, you put some colors on them. So this one is cute. I mean, this one is scripture cards. There's 40 scripture cards. You can choose your font and you can superimpose an image. So let's see. Can I make this? The answer is yes. Can I make this right now? The answer is yes, I can. Here's another one with the alphabet and the scripture. So again, where can this go for you, Charlotte? This can go so many different ways. You can start with the designs themselves and then eventually convert it into a book. So, alphabet with the scriptures. I love that. I had not seen that one yet. I've seen these little scripture cards that they made.
I'm still in that idea.
Huh?
I'm still in that idea.
You know what? You do what you got to do, boo. I'm just here to be a blessing to you. Okay. You do what you got to do. But, so again, looking at this, you can change the font styles and do scriptures, all kinds of font styles. This one is like, it looks like it's a sheet. Well, at least the picture is a sheet. I'm sure that they're card size. But anyway, they're all downloadables. Most of them, not all of them. We probably should have said, let me go back up here. Let me do printables. There we go. Card, printable. There we go. So these are printables. If I do the printables, this is the one that I showed Tony, my son, sorry. And I was like, look at what they did with the alphabet. So they have a little image and they have a scripture and it's not that complicated. It is really cool. Now, I don't like their font, but they made it big enough so kids can read it. So all the parents have to do is print it out, or the church, or the daycare, or whoever. But it's already, sort of designed. So it's a printable product. Can I get this image from somewhere? Can I get this image from somewhere? Can I get this image from somewhere? Yeah. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to Canva, locked in editor. Okay. Well, I don't care. I'm not keeping it. All right. So if I don't know what happened. Blocked. Yeah. Reload from the site. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do a new card. And I am going to go for an element. And let's do praying. So do I have any praying hands? I've got a couple of praying hands elements. So you didn't have to go and hire an illustrator or anything like that. You can just do the clip art. We could use this one or we can expand and look for more, but I'm just going to go with this one. Okay. So now I got praying hands over here. You could also go with the black and white if you want the black and white instead. Oh, that was a nice little overlay. That actually kind of looks okay. Sort of. That doesn't look too bad, does it? All right. So then I could put my scripture. So then I just do Google and I am going to Google a scripture. So what do I want to Google? Give me a scripture.
Well, if you have praying hands, it'd probably be a scripture about prayer. Pray without ceasing or something like that.
Okay. So let's get the words. And I don't know that this one, this is a prayer. Okay. So then I just come in, I go to Google, right? I go find it. I can put a text box. I can paste it. Oops, sorry. Move this down. That text box is way too tiny, but that's all right. Paste it in. Change my font to whatever I want my font to be, right? Change the size of my font. Let's choose any of these. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so we'll choose this one. Let's change the size of the font, increase it to like 14. You can even change the color, whatever. Okay, so then this is 2 different images. So I'm going to have to group it. So I know it's 2 different images because I didn't mean to do that, but that's what I did. So see how it's the same. It's over. So I can either keep them together and group it. And the way that I group it is, and just give me just a second because I remember position. That's not it. Done. Don't want to do that. Group. I gotta get the second one. Yeah, so I have to be able to get the other one. Nope. There we go. Got both of them. All right. So if I can get both of them, I have to click on both of them. And if I click on group, now it's one combined picture. I can move this up. Or either I can put the scripture up at the top. I forgot to put Psalms on here, but okay. But anyway, I can put the words up here. I can move it around, as you can see. Take this, move him down. Okay. And I can put Psalms at the top so I can grab some more text. Okay, we're going to come back to the planner in just a second, guys. So I'm going to come up here, and I don't know what scripture it was, so I'm not even going to lie about it. Okay, so there you go. Copy it, maybe. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to come back over to Canva, and I'm going to paste it. All right. Now there's my scripture. And I mean, you can make it fancy. You can not make it fancy. You can bold it. You can unbold it. You can change the text. You can do all kinds of stuff. Maybe I don't want it to be this heavy. Maybe I want it to be that. Who knows? But, move your stuff around, change it, make it work for you. But the possibilities are endless is all I'm trying to get at. What you can make this and just taking the time to do it. So I could create, if I sat here in probably 30 minutes, I could probably create at least 10 scripture cards in 30 minutes and just randomly grabbing images, deciding where I want this to be, deciding where I want the image to be on each one of them, and then just going from there. Okay, that feels good. Next. So the way that I add a new one is I click on add a new page, and now I got a new blank page, and I can go get the next element. I can go get the next verbiage, and I can go get the next headline, and then do the next one, add a page. So if you want to start with the basics first, then we can convert that into something major. Or if you want to start with the pages for your low content book, you can decide. I feel like, this is just me, that, having something to sell, validating that there's an interest in whatever it is first. Once you validate that there's an interest in it, then from there, we can say, this is definitely one that's going into my low content book. Or you can create 5 or 6 or 7 different low content books, and they can all be of varying different content. So the last thing I want to mention, and then I'm going to go to planners real quick, is you do have to make this cluster photo, this cluster image. And so the one thing about Canva is that it does have to be, the pixels have to be, I think it's 2000. I'm pretty sure it is. And it should be in your sheet guide that I gave you. But I think, the pixels have to be 2000. So you will have to make what I consider, this is your listing image. And then there's secondary images that are behind your listing image. And so this is where I think sometimes people get caught up. And so what I want to encourage you to do is once you make the design, okay? So I made this design, that design, that design, made this design, this design, this design. And you see they just did a blue square. Take a look are the words that they wrote at the top of it, and then they dropped each one of their images. So how do I do that? So what I do is I go to Canva and I decide that I'm going to share. Once I share, and it's really not sharing, we're going to download these images. So you do have to download them one at a time. So you will need to make sure you have space. I would encourage you to download them as PNGs. And I would encourage you to download them one at a time. So once I download it, I can click done and download page 2 by itself. Once I've downloaded page 2, I can re-upload page 2 if I go back over to Canva, and I can upload it one at a time. So I can upload A, then I can upload B, upload C, upload D. Okay. So you're going to upload them one at a time, download them one at a time, and upload them one at a time. If you download all of them together, it's just going to be one big giant book, and you won't be able to drag and drop. So then the next thing after I have downloaded them one at a time, depending on how many you want to show up in the listing, because I don't have to do all of them. I just do 6, and that's it. Create a cluster image of just the 6. And then my next cluster image could have just been the A, really, really big. This one could have been the B, really, really big. This could have been the C, really, really big. So you don't have to do every single one of them. If you had 20 cards or 24 cards because of the alphabet, you don't have to download all 24 cards individually. And so that's the thing I had to teach Tony. It's like, don't download each one of them individually. Just download enough to be able to create the listing images, right? So you download enough. So I would have just downloaded 6 of them individually, and that's it. And then I would have made the remaining pictures just one image instead of a cluster. And I would fix on the front and maybe put some words up here at the top, that alphabet Bible verses. And I'm done. And I could put the little scissors at the bottom. You can grab an image again from Canva to show scissors. You can put the circle text. You can grab that from Canva as well and be done with this. You have your cluster photo, and then you have your next photo with the 6. And then this one would be one singular one with A, one singular one with B, one singular one with C, one singular one with D. Like I would do that. I would not have done it the way that they, because I don't have that kind of time. So I'm just telling you how I would expedite it, because I'm not going to sit here all day and download 20 images. So once you get them downloaded, you can upload them directly to Canva. And sorry, let me go here. Oh, I lost my box. Okay. Uploading to Canva. So let me give you a blank sheet. So I can take I can do poster again. I'm going to resize it. So before I even get started, and I'm going to make this, let's just say I'm going to make it 24 by 24. I'm going to resize it. If I make it 24 by 24, and you can increase the size at the bottom. You can use that little percent so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of the background. I can click on the little square, and I can change the color of the background. I don't know that that's the color I want. Okay. If I don't want a colored background and I really want a photo, like I was teaching my VA how to do the picket fence thing, because you see some images in Canva with the fence. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a fence image. This. Okay. This is my image. Because again, on Canva, you have all kinds of different designs and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to give it something other than just a solid color. Okay. So you can choose whatever you want to. They have, if you scroll down on Canva over here, they have backgrounds. I could have chosen one of those instead. Doesn't really matter.
The copies of 2 of Dr. Julio Jones' dissertations.
I don't want that. Let's see. Abstract. You could do this if you wanted to do something weird. That's fine. Doesn't really matter to me. So now that I have some type of weird background, and you can change it to whatever you want it to be. They have all kinds of options here. Oh, a brick fence would have been better. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now I have a background. So before I said I would upload my individual one. So that thing was AA, whatever. So I'm going to go find the AA. And once I find it, I'm going to click. And however many I upload, if there's 6 of them, I'm just going to arrange them on here. And it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put some words up at the top. So I would download each one of them on here. Grab the text. I can put text over the brick, or I can put a solid background first. So I might just get a solid color. I don't want textures. I'm going to solid color. Whoops. Undo that. Hold on.
They do because they think that once the sports, they'll get to you. They're just like
I hate when it does that. Let me undo that one more time.
But we must make them realize that potential is within the numbers.
And so I need a square. Hold on. Let me get a square. It's like you want too much. So I'm going to get a square. There we go. I have a square and I can color it. So I'm going to take the square and I'm going to use it as my top part. Let's pretend that this is multiples. All I did was copy paste the same one. Undo that. As you can tell, I've been doing this a lot. Is this helping at all? That's too big. Is this helping? Is anybody paying attention? Am I by myself? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. Is this helping?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Sure. Are you Dr. Chase?
I do love how Canva gives you the little guidelines to make sure everything is level.
Yes. I do love that. All right. So I'm going to literally grab these three and I'm going to duplicate them. And then, okay, so that's my little fake whatever. And then, there we go. I just made that a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to grab some text and I'm going to choose this. I need to change that color for the words before I drop it up there. Make it dark blue. And I'm definitely going to make that bigger. So 56 or 80. Okay. All right. And then you would put your text up here, like, you know, scripture cards or whatever you want to write. If I spell it right. And if I use the right alphabet, you know. Okay. So you get the idea. So I would go look at other people's listings on Etsy. You know, they put some scissors. I would put my scissors, blah, 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 blah. And I would add all the same stuff. And then once I'm done, I would download this combo image down. And now I can upload, and this is my main page for Etsy. See how I did that? And I don't know. It took me about, what, 3 minutes? 5 minutes? Whatever. It didn't take me very long. So create the product first and then come back and do the design. And you can watch this video again. Trust me, watch this video again. So the next thing I would do is we're going to talk about planner stuff. There's so many amazing planner designs inside of Canva. They have weekly, they have daily, they have all kinds of stuff. I have a bunch of planner stuff because we're working on a major planner project. We got a couple of planners we're working on. So the first thing for you, Debbie, so to wrap up with Charlotte, what your assignment for tonight is, I really want you to think about your scripture idea, and I wanted you to think about how you want to start it and what you want it to look like 3 months from now. If I'm going to start off with flashcards, maybe I'll start off with just independent sheets and then eventually build up to something. And what are all the types of scripture books or scripture journal books that I can create, the little journal guides? Maybe at the bottom or the top of every single page of your journal, you have an independent scripture so they can do daily journaling. Maybe you have you create your own version of a 365 scripture book that people can go through. Maybe you come up with your own coloring book for little kids that involve scriptures, and you have different images on each page. There's so many different places you can go with this. At the end of the day, you know, a year from now, you could have a whole library that's all of Charlotte's business, like your entire business, whatever you want to name it. And you've got a section for kids, a section for young adults, a section for teens, a section for young adults, a section for families, a section for couples, a section for singles. You literally could run the gamut of the different types of things that you could create. And the great thing about it is you can start with like 3 or 4 different types and then use them as a model for all the others. You don't have to redesign them unless you have an absolute desire to redesign them over and over again. You don't have to do that. So I put that out into the universe to you, and whether or not you receive it, catch it, and run with it is up to you. But that's what I think that's a great idea, especially if that's your passion.
Well, they're not really.
Okay, so Debbie, let's talk about this planner stuff. So the first thing for you is you got to decide where you want to go with the planner stuff. Is your focus on you want to have downloadable printables, which people make a lot of money on that. There's a bunch of planner stuff that's out here. Or is your passion actually creating planner books that you sell? So you have the online digital planners. These are some amazing mock-ups. And again, they sell in volume. So, it is whatever it is. So these are some downloadables, of course. They have a whole suite of downloadables here. And then also the stickers. You can design stickers for yours, Charlotte, and Debbie, you can design stickers for yours. Where do you want to go with yours, Debbie? Do you know?
Honestly, I don't yet.
Okay. So what category would you consider yourself in? Are you a planner? Like, do you love journaling? Do you like planners because you want to stay organized in your day-to-day? Do you like planners because you want to stay organized in your hobbies? Do you like planners because you want to stay organized in what? Your budgeting, your fitness? What's your passion? What's your
Basically, passion? I love helping people organize their home.
Organize their home.
So it could be, closets, cars, bedrooms, kitchens.
Okay. So when I think about that, I think of software. I'm not necessarily thinking of a planner, but there's probably a direction in which we can go that it hasn't hit my brain yet. Because, because I think of like a person, an organizational person a person that comes into houses and does like the setup. So maybe there is a planner for those. Okay, now we're here. We're here now. I'm there. So maybe what we do is we go down the path and do the research first on those people that are professionals in staging. Because stagers come in and do stuff to houses, right? They get it ready for show. They get it ready for selling. And so maybe there is a handheld something. Maybe they're using an iPad or something and they're writing things down. What are the things that they're making a note of? Maybe there's an inventory list for each one of the rooms as you are coming in and you're preparing to reorganize or restage it. Maybe that's it. So if this is your passion, you know this better than I do. I'm going to tell you, I'm just like grasping the straws here. But I feel like maybe there's a checklist for each room, the things that we're going to pay attention to. You probably got one of those sheets where you do keep, the keep and the sell and the toss or donate. And so like you could create those types of sheets that they can use depending on what type of house. Am I doing a staging for a 4-bedroom house? Am I doing one for a 5-bedroom house? Am I doing it for a house that has a living room and a den and a formal dining and a kitchen, like a dinette area? So there's different sizes of houses. We're in Texas; they got like giant houses here, and but you literally could take that and maybe break it down so you sell bundle sheets for the different types of houses from an organization standpoint. In the first place, I'm going after a staging because houses are selling like crazy. So that's the reason why for me, education was the first thing I went after because I'm looking for things that are immediately making money right now. So when I mentioned scripture earlier, I know all these kids are going to VBS. There's going to be a passion after they come back from VBS. This is a great opportunity for Charlotte to grab those parents that get those kids that are inspired by what they learned in VBS and they want to continue their Bible study journey. So then she has a product that she can sell to help those kids continue their Bible study journey going into the new year. Charlotte, you could even create one for those as a journaling scripture for the school year. Because again, kids are challenged with all kinds of stuff that happened during the school year. I'm sorry. So I went there and I'm going to come back out. So anyway, but the point is for you, Debbie, like, so there's people that are professional organizers. I want you to do a brain dump of what are the activities that professional organizers engage in and what are the tools that they need. Maybe they need labels. Maybe that's one of the things you're going to do is you're going to create labels for things, labels for tubs, labels for whatever, and they can download those labels and use them on their journey to help get this house organized as an organizer. And then the other side of that is those people that are doing staging, because again, houses are selling like crazy, and so staging is extremely important.
Do you have a few minutes
that make
to spare? Sure.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So I want you to do that brain dump so that we can head down that journey.
And that's what I
And
want to talk
that way
about.
tomorrow we can come back and have a different conversation.
Oh, we got the guy upstairs.
Because we're going to talk about, we can start the process of actually building a plan if we have, gone to go do some research. So do some research on what organizers need and what stagers need. And because houses are selling like crazy, stagers are needed right now.
Thank you. Yep.
You're very welcome. All right. So I don't know what Hazel needs, but hopefully we'll catch up with her tomorrow. I want you guys to do that brain dump, and then tomorrow come prepared to talk about what you feel like your first product is going to be. Okay. Come prepared to talk about it. So we're going to call it quits. It is 7:12 and I got passionate and we went past our time. So we're going to come together tomorrow at 6 o'clock and we're going to talk and I'm going to show you how to create a design very quickly. Okay.
All righty.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yeah.
You're very welcome. Tell other people about this class. This is going to be an awesome class. We're going to create a whole bunch of awesome products. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.